This is the morning weather briefing. This is for Saturday, the 27th of January. This is James Spann. We have an active weather day today. Got a big batch of rain this morning, and there's a chance additional storms could form this afternoon. And if they can form, those storms could be strong, maybe severe. We have a flood watch for parts of the state. We'll take a look at all the high-resolution modeling as we go along here. Let's begin with the upper air look early this morning, and the trough that has been persistently over Texas is beginning to lift out. And so this should be the last day with big rains for a while. Looks like much of the week ahead will be dry. Let's go right to the radar this morning, and we're live at 6:14 here on Saturday morning. And this is just a big rain mass over the state. Nothing severe. We don't expect any severe storms this morning. Again, you can see that large mass of rain at this point, mostly west of Interstate 65. In fact, we'll take a look at the various radars. There's a look at the Birmingham radar. The first radar was from Maxwell Air Force Base. And again, you can see just a big old mass of rain over North and West Alabama. Check the radar coming from Mobile. Same thing, just a big mass of rain. No severe storms. And so it's going to be a very wet start to the day today. Here's a look at the regional radar composite. Puts all the radars together across the Deep South, and you can see it's just raining. The one thing we'll have to watch for this morning is potential for a wake low to develop on the backside of this big rain mass. And we've seen evidence of that, some of the high-resolution modeling this morning. So as the initial rain mass ends later this morning, keep in mind the winds could pick up, not related to storms, but gradient winds. And that would be for about 30, 40 minutes or so. And it's not a guarantee that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. So just keep in mind there could be some strong winds on the backside of this big rain mass this morning because of a wake low, which happens sometimes in situations like this. It's a very mild morning. We've got 50s for the northern half of the state, low 60s for South Alabama. And again, we're expecting highs today between 65 and 72. 60s for much of the state, low 70s for the southern counties. Now, we still have a flood watch today for the counties in green on that map. Parts of central Alabama. This would include Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Montgomery, Clanton, Alexander City, places like that. The additional rain we see could produce some flooding issues. Don't expect a major problem with that. And the bulk of the really widespread heavy rain will be this morning. And again, the storms this afternoon, that's a conditional threat. And a peek at the situation around the nation, those flash flood watches extend to the northeast up through parts of East Tennessee, the mountains of North Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia. And again this morning, fog problems up north. This has been a very foggy week across much of the United States. So this is the severe weather outlook for today. And you can see that we have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk. The areas in yellow on that map from Birmingham south to the Gulf Coast. And surrounding that, a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for the rest of the state. This is the probabilistic outlook for tornadoes, and a very low-end threat here. Could there be an isolated tornado this afternoon? Yes. Is it likely? No. The chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point in the brown, which is the level 2 area, just 5 to 9%. But as always, we got to keep a close eye on radar trends today just in case. Tomorrow, maybe some thunder for the Atlantic coast and the Florida Peninsula. And on day 3, which is Monday, not a single thunderstorm expected across the country. So this is rain for the next 7 days. And for Alabama, the bulk of this rain will be today. And you can see that we're expecting rain amounts about 1 inch for most places. And, of course, the ground is totally saturated. So, again, that's the reason parts of the state still have that flood watch in effect. So let's go through modeling. Model fans, this is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid today at 4. And the trough is lifting out of Texas, providing dynamic support for the rain we see today. A broad surface low is near Nashville this afternoon. But let's go down to high-resolution modeling. And again, first off, this is where we are this morning, right now. Early this morning, just a big old mass of rain. And the question is, can the air recover from that? And can some instability be realized this afternoon? And that's the big question. So this is what the HER is suggesting the radar could look like this afternoon at 2 o'clock Central Time. That first batch of rain and storms exiting the southeastern corner of the state. And notice that little narrow band of showers forming from the Shoals down to Tuscaloosa. And that's along the surface front. And the question is, can those develop into storms? Can they become strong to severe? This is the projected radar this evening at 6 o'clock. And those showers are over the eastern counties of the state in the process of moving over into Georgia. So let's look at the instability values coming off the HER, and this is suggesting there can be some surface-based instability this afternoon. Again, this is at 2 o'clock. Not a lot. This is showing surface-based CAPE values between 500 and 1,000 joules per kilogram. And that's sufficient for strong storms this time of the year. The shear values are not really that impressive. The better 0 to 1 kilometer helicity values are up in Tennessee in relation to storm motion. Maybe enough to get an isolated rotating updraft somewhere. And accordingly, the STP values are very, very low. This is the significant tornado parameter. So again, we'll just kind of watch radar trends this afternoon and understand there's a real chance that we see no thunder, no lightning this afternoon, just a band of scattered showers along the front. But again, some might try and grow into storms. In terms of the timing for the afternoon activity today, no change in our thinking. For the western counties of the state, the window for heavier storms, if they form, and that's a big if, noon to 3 today. For the central part of the state, that would include Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, 2 until 5 p.m., and then for the eastern counties of the state, 4 until 7 p.m. So again, that's the basic concept here, and again, this is just a very conditional threat here, and we'll just watch to see. Now, if the sun can break out, and if we get surface temperatures up in the low 70s, that would certainly help with the instability, and that would create a better environment for stronger storms today. Tomorrow, everything's out of here. We're colder. North Alabama holding in the 40s all day. Probably clouds lingering. There could be a touch of light rain or drizzle in the morning. The sky probably clearing in South Alabama. We'll quickly go through the week ahead. Monday, we're cool and dry. We start the day in the 30s, highs in the 50s. Same thing on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, a little upper trough will be passing just north of the state, and that might squeeze out a sprinkle Wednesday morning, but the latest modeling suggesting we stay dry. This is suggesting a chance of snow showers over parts of the mountains of East Tennessee and western North Carolina, but again, probably we're still dry. That'll bring a little cooler air back down in here. This is Thursday. Again, highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. Friday, we're still dry, and this is a week from today, Saturday, February 3rd, a zonal flow, and we are still dry, with rain off to the west. So at this point, all of the week ahead looking dry. Let's go out 10 days. This is Monday, the 5th of February, a little shortwave ridge, and we are still dry. So really, after today, things look pretty quiet for a while. This is rain for Birmingham coming off the European ensemble. The mean, it's between 2 and 3 inches between now and the 9th of February. Peak of temperatures coming off the NBM, National Blend of Models. 67 today, 47 tomorrow. That's a 20-degree drop. That's very significant. This is for Birmingham. Of course, your number might be different. Lows near below freezing Tuesday morning. And again, temperatures very seasonal. Exactly what we expect here based on seasonal averages into the first several days of February. And the latest 8 to 14-day guidance, this is for the 3rd through the 9th of February. Still evidence temperatures could be a little above average here, below average back over the western third of the country. So before we go, let's go back to the live radar here. And again, if you're just joining us live, it's 6:23 on Saturday morning, and just a big old rain mass pushing into the state. That's the Mobile radar. And the rain has started over much of Mobile and Baldwin counties, and you'll see a lot of rain this morning. And we'll go to the north, and again, this is the radar coming from Birmingham, and it's the same situation, just a big, massive rain. We don't expect any severe weather problems this morning. There could be a rumble of thunder somewhere. But just understand the one thing we did talk about, on the back edge of that rain mass this morning, we could see a little wake low develop. And with that comes a temporary, very tight pressure gradient, and the winds could pick up. And this happens sometimes on the backside of a departing rain mass like that. So there's a chance for about 30 minutes you'll see winds gusting to 35, maybe 40 miles per hour. Not related to storms, but gradient winds with the potential of a wake low. And then this afternoon, if the air can recover from this big rain mass this morning, and if we can see some instability developing, we've got the chance of a secondary line of storms that would form over mainly the northern half of the state, but again, ultimately developing down to the south. And it's very conditional, but if they can form, they could produce strong gusty winds. That's the main concern. Could there be a brief isolated tornado this afternoon? Yes, but again, it's not likely. And understand there's a very real chance that today we get away with just rain showers this afternoon, nothing more than that. And we hope that's the case. And that's a pretty decent possibility. But again, there certainly could be some thunder and just maybe a severe storm. And there's your timing in terms of the window this afternoon. So we'll be watching the radar trends carefully throughout the day today. And I will say that I will be on the road today. We're going to Florence for a book signing. And of course, we look at this carefully, and ultimately I make the call here. You know, do you postpone the book signing because we have an active weather day? But the chance of organized severe weather is just not that high. And the calendar is jammed. And so we're going to get that in today. So, hey, come see us in Florence. All right, if you're in the Shoals, come see us. We're going to be at Turbo Coffee this morning at 10:30. And we're going to be there until 1:30. That's the current plan for about 3 hours. And we'll have all of the cool weather shirts and the hats. This stuff's funny. It's good stuff from Crest Publishers. And, of course, the books. All You Can Do Is Pray, which is the book about the generational tornado outbreak of April 27, 2011. Weathering Life, which is my autobiography. The children's books are really good. Benny and Chipper, the series. The Wonder of Thunder, and Prepared Not Scared. All of that's going to be there today. So come see us. And again, yes, it's raining in the Shoals now, but this morning batch of rain should be out of there hopefully by 10:30, and we'll be in that nice break where the weather won't be that bad. So Turbo Coffee, Tennessee Street, Florence, today, 10:30 until 1:30. And again, for those that are new here, we typically do these weekdays. I simulcast these live on my YouTube channel and the Facebook page about 5:15 in the morning, then about 2:45 in the afternoon. But on weekends like this, whenever we have active weather, hey, and don't forget, tomorrow's the anniversary of Snowmageddon. Goodness, 10 years. Wow. And I got a lot of great photos and videos and stories that we'll be posting through the day tomorrow as we look back on that total debacle. But again, that's it for this morning. Watch the social platforms for updates today. Hope to see many of you in Florence today. Thanks for watching. Have a great Saturday, and God bless.